Hello everyone, welcome to my Linux alphabet command tutorials where I go through this mouse pad over here which has the alphabet and a bunch of Linux commands per letter with on the mouse pad, and I go through each one individually and give a brief little demo of how it's actually useful and how to actually use each command itself. If you want to buy the mouse pad, affiliate link below. It's like 20 bucks. It's kind of cool mouse pad. The next up on the list of A's is alias, which is create an alias as described as. So first, I'm going to open up a terminal. I'm going to make it quite large. So alias, if you just type alias in right now, it's just going to actually print out all of the aliases that you currently have. But what is an alias? Alias is you're going by something else, right? When you think of aliases, you think of police officers. What is a criminal's alias? What do they go by online so we can get a big picture of them? It's not really like that. In computer terms, it's just you are defining an alias that does something else. So you are creating a simple alias to shorten a command that you have that is very long and you don't want to run it every time. You don't want to type everything in, so you create a very shortened form of that command and you create it behind an alias. An alias is really just a variable that equals a command that actually runs. So you can just type the variable in within the command prompt and that longer command actually runs. So first off, if you just type alias in, you're going to see uh, all of the aliases that you currently have. So here I have a bunch of aliases. Um, a lot of these come out of the box. They're all located within your .bash rc. For me personally, there's different ones. There's like ZR, or bash zrc. I think there's other ones, but generally it's bash rc. Refer to your Linux distro if you don't know. But these are generally within a .bash rc. So all the ones that are displaying here are all ones that we currently have loaded. When you open up a terminal, it loads the .bash rc file and creates all of these aliases for you. So I could run any of these right now, say SST. This is one of the ones I created just to test my connection to GitHub. It will do it and it will test my passphrase for it and it will run this command. You can see it echoes testing SSH connection and then it runs SSH GitHub to see if I am actually authenticated to GitHub. So it knows my SSH key here. That is a simple command. Instead of having to type out SSH hyphen capital T get at github.com every single time, I just have to type 3 characters and then it runs that whole command. You can see how that comes quite useful. But there's also different types of aliases. There's local aliases and global aliases that you can have different sessions or global aliases, which is what you just saw there, as obviously I have not created one thus far. So say you want to create an alias locally that's only for this particular terminal session that does not persist when you turn off your computer or you close this terminal and open up another one. It's explicitly for this one. There's some use cases for this. If you're really running a lot of curl commands to a specific site, local host or something, and you don't want to type the curl, the header, all that, you can have an alias for it or a sample curl that's just testing a connection on a local host that you're running or something. But for this demo, I'm going to create an alias called tcd, triple change directory. And I'm just going to change the directory back 3 spots. It's similar to one you saw. There was 4 dots. If we can go back, alias 4 dots also does exactly what I'm trying to do. But for this, I want to create something that doesn't already exist that I can demo for y'all. So if I want to create a local alias, say alias tcd equals cd dot 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 dot. So that will create alias that will run the command cd dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot, which will take you back 3 directories. So let's create it. And now if we type alias again, you'll see it's down here as a local alias. If I open up another terminal and I type alias, you won't see it because it's only within this session because I created within this session. So that one doesn't matter. So here we have what? We're 3 directories in. Let's go into say 4 directories. Summarize vid. That is another app I have. An app you can use. But so we are within 4 directories. So if we want to go back 3 directories based off of what we just created, tcd, to run this command, you don't actually have to run that. You can do tcd, and this should bring me back to home. What do you know? I'm back to home. Okay. And that is very convenient for a lot of reasons, for a lot of stuff that you just don't even want to remember. You can see here I have aliases for a lot of stuff. I remove some of the more sensitive ones. I like to put a lot of SSH commands within mine to all the various VPSs I have, because you don't remember the IP address that you have to go into, as well as the username. So a lot of these ones I have one that's called Jarvis, personally, that just SSHs into my OpenClaw bot that I have running on a VPS out there. I'm not going to show the IP for obvious reasons, but it's quite useful for a lot of these. You can see a lot of the ones that come already out of the box. I'm on Omarchy, Arch Linux, by the way, but these come out of the box. LL to list with all of the flags, LSA list all, OSRS. I play old school RuneScape. This is how I run RuneLite within Arch Linux, so I can still play my RuneScape when I want to. SSA is to add an SSH key called GitHub, so I can authenticate into my GitHub. And you can really add anything. Tmux, amazing, use it. Git commands. Where is this G? Instead of typing git, 1 character is faster than 3 characters. You get the point. But now we still have the TCD here. You want to remove it. You want to remove it from this session. You can unalias it, TCD, and it will unalias it. Now, if you type alias again, it is removed. But say you want a long-lasting one that lasts multiple sessions. Say we'll create the TCD in the bash CR or bash RC. So you obviously need to create. You have to edit the file itself. You can edit with any text editor you want. I'm going to use NeoVim. So you come down here, it opens up the bash file. So there's a lot of stuff going on in here that you really out of the box that you don't really need. I have functions in here that you can have within it that you can run. This one, check get status of all of the projects within the current directory, because I have a lot of products I run. Obviously, the ones you saw there, the LL, SSS, SSA, SST, these are all ones that you just saw. There's a lot of stuff that you don't really need to know. You can read into them, but they just don't delete them. I mean, they're useful for your terminal session to get the libraries from various locations, the bin environment share, a lot of stuff. This command is one of the most recent ones I had. Local print is a function that you can run, and it really just will find the file and print it locally to my Canon printer. It was a pain in the ass to get it connected, but I finally figured it out where I don't have to run commands. I can actually just run this one command, because can you imagine trying to type in all of this stuff every single time? I sure cannot. So I just do local print a file, and it will find my printer and actually and send the prints to the file via command line, which is very helpful for myself. So going back to where we originally come, we want to create an alias. So if you've seen up here, it's the same commands that you ran. It just this is essentially just ran when the session starts. So you open up a new terminal, right? You see, I just opened this one up over here. While it's opening up, it reads this bash rc command and just runs all of these commands in it on startup. So you don't have to run them yourself because it's all really the same thing, right? We did an alias that went back 3 directories. It's the exact same command. It's just within a text file that these are ran one line by a time when a new session opens. Therefore, you don't need to run the alias every time. So we want to create TCD again, but have it long last multiple sessions and be available everywhere, as well as the one that we just traded. Let's do it. Alias TCD equals CD dot 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 dot. Cool. There it is. Alias TCD. So I'm going to write it out and you can view it, make sure that it is there. It is there. But notice, all I did was change or added the alias command in there. If I run TCD, it's not going to be recognized because the session has already loaded. You have to reload the bash RC every time you change it within the current session. If I open up a brand new terminal over here, say close that and reopen it, TCD, it will run because it read the bash RC, that file that we just ran, and it will run over here because it's a brand new session, therefore it has been executed on the initial load. But over here, we haven't done that. If you have this terminal and you really don't want to close and open up, all you have to do is do source bash rc. And essentially, you just source the bash rc and it just reloads it. So if you do that, now TCD will work. Simple enough. Let's look at our aliases again. To remove it from persisting across all of it, you obviously have to come back in there and run the command again. So here I'm going to remove it because we already have it. I was just more of an example. So here I'm going to write it out, and TCD still works because it still thinks it exists because we reload it. I am actually curious. I've never actually resourced it after removing. I'm curious if it works. Still works. Interesting. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes perfect sense. But now TCD command doesn't work. Awesome. And that is the alias command, and we are going down the pattern. So next up is apropos. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's going to be search help manual pages man-k. I assume it's something with the manuals of different commands. If you like it, if you like these tutorials, keep watching them. Bye.